Hello, Instagram. No one's here. Oh, what happened? Oh, there it goes. At Wine Spencer. Hey, Percy. Hello, hello. One second, guys. I'm just uh Spencer. I am just there we go. Post. Going to There we go. Hi everyone, welcome to Real Life Cooking. Today I have a very special guest who is joining me. I'm also trying to get my Facebook. Hey Shayla, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to get my actually, you know what? I'm just gonna skip Facebook today. I think I normally do this on Facebook. Oh no, here we go. How's it going in your area of the world, your corner of the world?
Good. I'm down. I think I'm outside.
Yeah, it like started raining so hard here just now. All right. So, hi everyone who is here. Hey, Christopher. Thanks for joining us. So welcome everyone that is here to Real Life Cooking. Today we have a very special guest, Shayla Smith from Wine Spencer. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us just a little bit about what Wine Spencer is, that would be awesome.
Sure. So Wine Spencer is a wine and consulting company. I started with my sister last year. So we do in-home wine tastings. And since COVID, we've been doing virtual tastings and also working with restaurants to do wine dinners and yeah, just helping people to understand more about wine and how to appreciate and how to taste.
Cool. And what you have like a certification. I wasn't quite sure like what exactly that was. Like what is it?
So there's a couple different schools that do wine certifications. So mine is with the Wine Spirit and Education Trust, which is based in the UK. So I have a level 2 certification, and they require you, or they encourage you to wait a year before you like get level 3. And so I got my certification last summer. So
Cool. Congratulations. What is it like the movie? Like what was that movie?
yeah.
Where you have to like smell and taste and is it
So
like that? Oh.
the blind tasting is level 3 and 4. So my friend texted me and was like, I'm watching Uncorked. Did you have to do this? No, not yet. But yeah, level 3 and level 4, that's when like you really have to step up and start blind tastings, which takes a lot more practice.
Yeah, I can imagine. It sounds like even like I'm a chef, so I can like taste things, but I feel like wine is just so complicated. But we'll get into that a little bit later because we do want to start cooking something.
Yeah.
And today, if you are cooking along, we're making pineapple and shrimp skewers, and we're going to be pairing it with a Chenin Blanc. Is that how we say this kind of wine? Okay, awesome. And we'll get into why later. Shayla will tell us all about why. But we want to do a few things first. We're going to start our sauce, and we're going to marinate our shrimp. So we're going to bring over our shrimp, our pineapple juice. I didn't add this on the list, but garlic powder is good here as well. And we're going to use a little bit of our fresh basil here. Okay. So we're kind of making our sauce. Well, actually, let's marinate our shrimp first. So this is going to be a quick marinade. Shrimp actually pick up flavor pretty quickly because they're so lean. The first thing that we're going to do, actually, let me get a clear bowl so you can see them. Our shrimp are cleaned and deveined. These are my shrimp. I have little kind of baby shrimp almost, so like medium-sized shrimp.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have like the same size, basically.
Yeah.
Nice. So what we're going to do is go ahead and sprinkle with some garlic powder if you have it, like about a teaspoon or so. And then we are going to pour in a bit of pineapple juice, like about 1/4 of a cup. So pineapple juice is very acidic. It's just like lemon juice. So if you leave your shrimp in pineapple juice too long, it's going to cook them. So that's why another reason we're doing like a quick marinade.
Okay, that makes sense. And acidity is one of the reasons we chose Chenin Blanc, so we'll go back to acidity a lot.
Okay, awesome. And then we're gonna sprinkle them with salt and pepper, and we're gonna just tear a few basil leaves and kind of just bruise them to release their essence. You could also run a knife through it, but you know, this is it releases the essence if you just kind of rub the basil with it as well, or rub the basil. And then you just put it into your bowl, and then also drizzle. You said what?
Just rub it through my fingers?
Yeah, because now you smell it a lot more now that you've rubbed it.
Yeah.
Yes, just rub it on your fingers. And then we're going to add just about a tablespoon or so of oil. Oil helps keep your shrimp nice and juicy when we go to cook them later because, again, they're really, really lean, which makes them very good for you, but it also can make things dry really quickly. And then we're just going to mix this around. You can use your hand. You can use a spoon, whatever you prefer. Did I add salt and pepper after I said to add salt and pepper? I don't think I added salt and pepper. Let me add a little bit more, just in case. And I know I didn't add pepper.
Someone asked me.
Take tails off of your shrimp?
I didn't take the tails off.
Okay.
Did you?
Off of some of mine. I wasn't sure if I took them off or not.
So I think on skewers, it looks really pretty with the tail on. Even though it's not like, it's not, you're not going to eat it obviously, but it just looks a little more festive, I guess. All right, so that is my shrimp. We're going to set that aside. And then for our sauce, we're going to take the rest of the pineapple juice. Oh, I don't have a small saucepan. Man, I planned really well. I'll just use a small skillet. And we are going to put the rest of our pineapple juice and then 2 tablespoons of brown sugar into the sauce. If you have a small pan, that's better than the skillet, but I'm using what I got. Lightning. It's crazy. It's like lightning and sunny at the same time. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's wild today.
So my preference of pineapple juice is actually the kind that you're using. I just happen to have some of this left over from, I don't even know what I use this for. But I definitely like that pineapple juice better because it's like a little more acidic. This is
I bought this on accident because that was all they had in the store. So I usually don't buy the mini cans like this. How much did you say? How much pineapple juice?
Like the rest of the can that you use.
Okay. We'll just say this.
That sounds good. And then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. So Shayla, I don't ever measure anything, but if measurements make you feel better, please measure.
Yeah, I have a measuring spoon.
And then we're going to do the same thing with the basil. Just take a couple pieces and kind of bruise it in your hands and then put it into your sauce mixture. And then we'll put this on the stove to start reducing a little bit. So reducing means you're concentrating the flavor even more. And because it has sugar in it, it's going to get thicker as it reduces too. So it'll be like a glaze at the end. That's like the consistency we're looking for.
Okay.
All right. So let me put this on. Just as we get into our conversation, just keep an eye on it so it doesn't over reduce and become like pineapple candy.
Okay.
Pineapple candy.
How high should the heat be?
Like medium, because we have some time here. You could use any kind of heat, but if you put it on too high, it'll reduce. You have more chance of letting it burn or reducing too much.
Okay.
Hi, Andy. Hello. All right, cool. So we've marinated our shrimp, if you're just joining us, in some pineapple juice, basil, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and a bit of olive oil. And we also started our glaze, which has the brown sugar, pineapple juice, and basil. And now we get to talk about wine. So, we're pairing this with the Chenin Blanc. So, could you explain what your thoughts were? Or?
Yeah, sure. So initially, when Kathleen asked, like, what wine did I want to pair, I chose a Viognier. And after talking to her about what exactly was going to go the skewers, particularly the sauce, I changed from a Viognier to a Chenin Blanc. And the reason why I did that is because the sauce has the acidity, like we mentioned, and a Viognier isn't very acidic, but a Chenin Blanc is. And so when you're doing food and wine pairings, for acidity, you want the food to be as acidic as the wine, because otherwise it's going to taste overly acidic, the food.
Mm-hmm.
And both of the food and the wine are acidic. It kind of neutralizes it. It makes everything taste a lot smoother.
Interesting. I would have thought that you'd want to pair it like opposite, but again, I'm not the wine expert here today. Question?
Oftentimes, we'll find two light things go together. So you want acidic wine, acidic food. If you have a sweet, like something like dessert, you want to have a sweet wine with it. So one thing is like wedding cake. If you have a wedding cake and you're doing like a champagne toast, if you have a really dry champagne, it's going to make your wedding cake taste bad.
Oh, interesting.
All the money you pay for a wedding cake, you don't want to ruin it by pairing it with a dry champagne, because it'll make it taste really sour and really amplify the taste.
Interesting. And that's
Yeah.
very good because I'm getting married next year, so now I know what kind of champagne to put in. Chris, you have a question?
Yes. One of you met a fireman and
Oh,
West Market today?
someone met a fireman at a store today, and it wasn't me. Let's be clear, it was not me who met a fireman.
Yeah, I'm out here
He said
people
hello.
to look and learn about wine.
Yeah, he said hello, and he's watching.
Wow.
All right, so let's pull out the wine that you specifically chose. Well, let's talk about the wine that we both have here. I actually was able to get the same exact wine that you have, I think.
Yeah, you got the same one, which is really good. So now that we're doing virtual tastings, one of the things that's difficult is making sure everyone has the same wine in the same city, because wine is a lot different than saying like, oh, everyone go out and buy like a Jack Daniels or something.
Yeah.
The selection can be a lot harder to choose.
Yeah, I was really glad because the store, they had two options, and he was like explaining. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like that's how I normally hear when people are explaining wine. And then he brought out this one, and I had seen it from your Instagram story, so I was like, I'll just take that one. No need to tell me anymore. All right, so this, yeah, go ahead and explain. I don't know, the notes, the things.
So the first thing is we chose a wine from South Africa, and particularly the coastal region, or Stellenbosch. And the reason we did that is because we wanted it to be really acidic. And if you are getting wine from like a cooler region, you're usually going to have more acidic wine, because cooler temperatures keep the acidity a lot longer. And if you move into warmer temperatures, they're going to be a lot sweeter. So we wanted to keep an area where the wine was going to be acidic. So this port is one that I've never come across before.
I know, I was literally about to ask you, have you seen, I think you just twisted off.
I've never seen a pork like this, but it's just a twist.
That was easy.
Yeah.
I was reading your blog about twist wines versus, because I always thought until I read your blog that twist top bottles are trash wines and corked ones are better. But apparently that's not true.
Yeah, it's not the case. And if you're looking at like wines from other regions, they know that Americans prefer cork because they think like, oh, it's nicer. So they will, in all their other markets, use a twist off, and then for wine that comes here, they will put a cork in it. And so it's the same wine. But really, cork it's really for if you're aging a wine, the cork works really well. And it's because if you're aging a red wine, for instance, adding a little oxygen helps to smooth out the tannin over time. But if you have a screw top wine, really most people aren't aging their wine. I buy wine and I drink it same day or in that week. And so it doesn't matter if it's aging well with the corkscrew or with the cork.
Interesting. I had another question for you as well. Also, Chris, can you close that curtain because the sun is about to come? If you open wine, like, shouldn't you drink it like within the day or so, or is that false too?
No, you should probably drink wine within the first 3 to 4.
Okay, that's what I said because we had an open. We went to a winery actually on Friday in Long Island, and he bought a bottle and we took it with us. But she had already opened it, and so I was like, "Oh, we have to drink this wine. Like it's been open since Friday."
You should probably drink it soon.
Yeah, because it can like turn, right? The flavor.
Yeah, so bad. And so I'll go through the steps of how to taste wine, but one of them is the first step is see. So you want to look at it, and if the color it was on the first day you bought it is not the color that it is the day that you're drinking it, if it's become brown or looks rusty, you probably don't want to drink it.
Mm-hmm. Good to know. All right, let's go through the steps of how to drink wine. I need a glass though.
Yes.
I got my glass ready. Just kidding. Can you have me a regular size glass over there? I was not prepared. Thank you. Also, check on your sauce. Make
Yeah.
sure that it's not like over.
I don't know what it's supposed to look like though.
So I'll bring mine up. Actually, mine is getting pretty thick. It should start to get thicker than it was when you originally put it in here.
I don't think she saw how big that wine glass was in comparison.
Oh, I don't think she was paying attention. All right, so this is my sauce. It's still a little runnier than I would like it, but I'll show you when it gets there. So it's gonna get thicker over time.
Okay.
But that's what it looks like right now.
Okay. It's good. It's getting there.
You want to show me?
Oh yeah. I think you missed my first glass I brought out here. It's like a whole bottle of wine. But I'm gonna use a regular glass. All right. So we're gonna pour it.
Little. Or a lot.
I poured too much.
Fine. You'll drink it. It's good.
Okay, so what do I do next? If I'm
You are clearly a wine non-expert.
What do you mean? I really want to learn from an actual expert. I'm a pretend wine expert. Okay.
Okay, so 5 S's. So the first is C. And like I mentioned, so you want to look and see if the wine is the color that you would expect it to be. So this is a Chenin Blanc. And so the pale golden color is something that we would expect. And usually at a tasting, you would want to like tilt the wine glass away from you and look at it over a white tablecloth or a white piece of paper. But you don't have fine, but that really helps you to see the color a lot better, because otherwise you're like my table is brown, so I'm seeing like reflections of brown in the
Right.
Okay, so after you see, you swirl, which you see people doing at restaurants or on movies.
I think I put a little. Oh, I know I put a little bit too much. Swirl.
So the reason you swirl it is because you want to agitate those molecules that really help to enhance the aromas. You want them to start like wafting at you out of the glass. Can you smell it? Just
I can smell it. Yes, it smells. I don't know what it smells like.
Okay. So step 3 is sniff.
Which I've been doing. This one?
What you smell when you inhale might be different than what you taste when we sip it. So what do you think you smell when we...
It doesn't actually smell that good to me.
Well, what does it smell like?
It smells like
Root?
Asphalt.
Asphalt.
Yeah, like root or like dirt or earth. Am I wrong? What do you smell?
Melon. I smell melon. Maybe some lemon.
Oh, I do. I just smelled some lemon, like a little, like a floral, like the lemon rind.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, it's getting better. The more I continue to smell it, it's taking a few tries.
Yeah. Maybe some honey. Some type of sweetness.
Yeah, it's. I think I need to like close my eyes and imagine. I can't do this like with the world watching me. I feel like I'm gonna get the answer wrong on the test.
All 12 years.
All millions of our viewers right now. All right. So yeah,
So-
you smell like the honey notes. It still smells a little asphalty to me, like earthy.
Earthy. Okay.
Oh, also, my sauce is probably, yeah, my sauce is done. I'm going to bring this over so you can see. It's thickened up quite a bit.
Okay. I think mine looks pretty similar.
What did you say?
I think my
Fireman said that you guys are letting the wine breathe too much. You need to drink it.
Oh, your fireman friend said we're not drinking fast enough. We're letting our wine breathe too much.
So should I turn the sauce off?
Yeah, turn it off if it's thick.
Okay. So now we're on our sip step.
Yes, finally.
Yes.
Taste. Does it taste like asphalt?
No.
What does it taste like?
I don't want to roll it around your mouth.
Yeah.
I did.
You need to learn how to taste.
Oh, yeah. Wait, how do we taste? So I hold it in my mouth and then I swish it around?
Put it around, yeah, like mouthwash. Let it cover all of your palate.
It tastes different in different parts of your tongue.
Yeah.
The back part tasted, so it tastes sour at first, like very acidic, like you said, very acid forward. And then I do get the lemon notes. And then it was interesting because the back parts of my tongue, I don't know what part that is, but it tastes kind of like bitter almost, but not in a bad way.
Okay.
She's looking at me like, what should I be tasting, please?
So everyone's palate is different. So with Chenin Blanc, it's pretty fruity. So like the lemon, melon, pineapple, which will go well with the pineapple later with the shrimp. I taste a little bit of honey.
I don't taste honey. I just taste sour. Except for the back.
You're not holding it in your mouth. Hold it in your mouth till you taste pineapples.
Did you hear him?
What did you say?
He said, "Hold it in my mouth until it tastes like pineapple."
And then, so the last step is savor. And so when you're savoring, you're evaluating things like acidity. So how strong is that tartness? The sweetness. So this is pretty dry. Alcohol, how alcoholic it is. And this one is too alcoholic. 12.5. So it's not too much alcohol. And then the finish. So how long those flavors stay on your tongue.
I think it's staying pretty long. Like I can still taste like the sourness, and it's almost still making my mouth water. In a way. Mm-hmm.
And so that's how you know something is acidic, because it gives you that salivation.
Interesting. So how is this different than like a Sauvignon Blanc? Like
So Sauvignon Blanc is also a really acidic wine, but one of the things that makes Sauvignon Blanc different is it has like herbaceous notes. So you might taste bell pepper or grass or maybe like herbs.
Interesting.
Or fruity.
Interesting. Yeah, Sauvignon Blanc is my favorite kind of wine.
Okay.
And that would make sense that it is more herbaceous because I like very like I'm not a fruit forward or sweet person, so that kind of makes sense why I would
Yeah.
like Sauvignon Blanc a little bit better. But it's also really interesting, I find, when you're drinking wine, like maybe sometimes you take the first sip and you're like, I don't really like it, but then once you drink the whole glass, you're like, oh, that was like a really good glass of wine. Question?
Oh, I was told that wine is supposed to purify your tongue so that your first tastes like your last. Is that the case?
Okay, so he's asking if he heard that wine is supposed to purify your tongue, and the first taste should taste what?
So it tastes the same. Your meal tastes the same.
Oh, so your meal tastes the same the whole time.
Yes. So your first bite tastes like your last.
Oh, I don't get that.
Does wine purify your tongue, girl?
Does wine purify your tongue? Is what Chris is asking.
So does the wine, like the first bite of food, does it taste like the last bite? Is that?
Yeah, is it supposed to like unify your meal, I guess, or yeah.
So if you're going through like wine, food, and back and forth, then yeah, it'll taste the same throughout.
And then, is your general recommendation, because you said to put your wine in the fridge for 2 hours before, is there any like cheats around? Because I've seen like people can wrap their bottles in like wet paper towel and put it in the freezer. Is that like appropriate, or is that like?
Yeah, if you didn't like have enough time, you can do like half ice, half water in a bucket. That'll help chill it a lot faster. Or putting it in the freezer. You just don't want to forget about it if it's in the freezer.
Yeah, because especially like Prosecco and things of that nature, sparkling can explode. In the freezer. Yeah.
And even, I know a lot of people don't like to chill their red wine because you are supposed to technically drink red wine at room temperature, but a lot of the time in the summer, your apartment, your house is probably not room temperature, so putting it in the refrigerator for 20-30 minutes is perfectly appropriate, especially in the summertime.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because our house, I swear it's like 90 degrees in here right now in the summer, and that's the air's on, so.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense. But in general, you don't want to store wine in the fridge unless you're gonna drink it like soon, right? Or what would be your take on that?
Yeah, I think waiting until you're about to drink it is
Okay.
greater.
Cool. Awesome. I learned so many things. Let me see if I can remember. It was, I don't remember the first one. It was, see, swirl, smell, sip, and savor.
Yes.
That's the 5 steps of wine tasting.
Yeah. Right.
Cheers. Thank you for that. Let's go ahead and move on to making our shrimp skewers. One more sip of wine.
Okay.
This wine, I think because of the acidity, it makes you want to keep drinking it because your mouth is puckering and then you're like, ooh, I want a little more, another sip.
Yeah. And so we'll see once we try it with the shrimp, we'll see if it mellows out some of that acidity.
Cool. All right, I think you already have cut pineapple, which was genius.
I do. I did.
For anyone that might have a pineapple in their house, I'm going to quickly demonstrate the easiest way to cut it. I'm going to cut off the top, cut off the bottom. I'm going to make Chris's wildest dreams come true and try to grow this as a plant. I'm going to stick it in some water.
I am so bad at picking out pineapples. How do you know if it's good or not?
So this one is not very ripe at all. In fact, none of them at the store were, so I just had to choose one. But it shouldn't be rock hard. It also shouldn't be this green. And you want to make sure that, and it should smell good. Like this one doesn't smell like, the flesh doesn't smell like anything. So you want it to smell like something. And then you don't want, like if it has this apart, you don't want like these leaves to be super brown or anything. You want pretty green leaves. Woo. And yeah, really just the smell and kind of like the feel of it. Like you don't want it rock hard, but you also don't want it super soft because that will be mushy pineapple. We have a question?
About wine, actually. Why do you age red wine but not white wine?
So
Is that something that you do, or?
So someone is asking, why do you age red wine but not white wine?
So the reason a red wine is because they have tannin, And as time goes on, the tannin starts to become smoother. So the bitterness you might have in a red that's 2 years old will be much smoother after 10 years because of aging.
What is the most, like the old, actually two questions for you. What is the oldest wine you've tried? Like what year? And what is the most expensive wine that you've tried?
Most expensive? Probably a wine in my class, not anything that I'm on my own. And probably like $100 bottle of champagne.
$100 bottle of champagne?
Yeah. And oldest one? I don't think I've tried any really old ones, but I turned 30 this year, so I wanted to get a wine from 19.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work as a server in a restaurant, and actually at Red Rooster in Harlem, and we had some expensive bottles of wine, like $400. It was like, I'm like, who is drinking $400?
Yeah.
And does it really taste like that much different? I mean, I won't know for a little bit longer in life.
Yeah, I think it's really about what you like your wine to taste like, because as a wine gets older, you'll get more like leathery notes or bitter, and I don't think I really like for wine to taste like that, especially if I'm eating it with food. I don't need my wine to taste like leather.
Yeah, that doesn't really.
Fine.
All right. So if you're just joining us, I have Shayla Spencer from Wine, or no, it's not Shayla Spencer, it's Shayla Smith from Wine Spencer, and we're making shrimp skewers. We've marinated our shrimp. We've already made our sauce, and we are pairing it with a Chenin Blanc. So she just taught us the 5 rules of wine tasting, and we're gonna now make our skewers, cook them, and then taste our wine with our meal that we've created. So what kind of pan are you using, Shayla? Are you using cast iron, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you just want to make sure that your skewers are going to be able to fit in the pan, like, you know, when you put, like, evenly. Because I know you cut them down, so they should.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Generally, it's recommended to soak your skewers, like if you were making them on, like if you're doing this on an actual grill. I'm going to be using a grill pan, but on the stovetop, it's not like so necessary. But imagine if you're lighting the whole thing on fire, you would want to make sure that they were soaked. And then literally, we're just going to skewer our shrimp. So I like to leave a little bit of space at the top, and I'll do shrimp, pineapple, shrimp. And I normally just do 2 per skewer. If you want to do more, you can. But I like to keep them kind of dainty. And you can either like put your shrimp all in one way, or you can put them different ways, like so and so. Depends how OCD you want to be. Okay. All right. Skewer. This is a really easy meal, and it's quick to make, like, for the summer, and it's light and nice to eat. If you guys have any questions, people that are watching for me, culinary questions, or about wine, please feel free to drop them in the box below, and Christopher will relay them to us, and we can answer your questions.
You didn't answer my last question.
What was your last question?
I forgot it.
What? What is your favorite kind of wine, Shayla?
Right now, I really like Sauvignon Blanc. And if I'm going to have a red wine, I like Pinot Noir.
Oh, we're like wine sisters. Those are my 2 favorites, too, in the 2 different categories.
Nice. Yeah, I used to like Cabernet a lot. And the bitterness, like the tannin in Cabernet just became too much.
Yeah.
And so Pinot Noir is a lot softer.
Yeah, I also like it because it's generally like lighter, like it's not heavy on your tongue.
Yeah, it is.
We have a question.
Do you make white wine with red grapes, or do you use green grapes, or how does that work?
Does white wine come from red grapes or white grapes?
White wine
Green
comes from
grapes.
white grapes.
It comes from what grapes?
White grapes.
White grapes.
Technically, they're green, but like if you peel the skin off,
That's why I said green. I said green at first. And then red wine would have come from, I guess, red grapes.
Yeah, red wine comes from red grapes. Then that's
Yes.
that's why red wine has the tannin, right? Because they leave the skin on the red grapes. Yeah. Oh, look at I remember something from Napa.
but rosé is made from red grapes, and so that they leave the skin on, but only for like a few hours to up to 24 hours.
Oh, and that's why the different rosés are different colors. Like some
Yeah.
are darker and some are lighter. Are you a fan of rosé?
I like rosé. I like sparkling rosé. So I really like bubbles. So it gives me like the best of both worlds.
Nice. Yeah, I like rosé. I feel like I like rosé more now that I live in New York and in the summer it's like a thing.
Yeah.
More than it was in California. You're originally from California, right?
Yeah, I'm from LA. Where are you from?
I'm from Moreno Valley. It's in between LA and Palm Springs. Actually, looking on your site, I saw you guys. Well, you also had a blog about like Temecula wineries, which is pretty close to where I grew up.
Okay. Yeah, my sister went to Temecula for her anniversary.
Oh, nice. All right. So I have all my shrimp skewers done. I'm going to move this bowl and rinse off my hands.
How many skewers did you make?
I probably made about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 here.
Oh my, I'm like skewering really slow apparently.
Well, I mean, I do this for a living, so I'm a little quicker than the average person in the kitchen. Do I have? Oh no, I'm not. What did you say?
How long have you been cooking professionally?
I've been cooking professionally for 12 years. It has been my only job in my adult life. Well, yeah, in my adult life, it's been my only job.
Oh wow. Nice.
Yeah, I can't believe I can say I've done anything for 12 years now.
And what for cook?
What drove me to cook or got me in the industry?
Thing to cook.
Oh, favorite thing. People ask me this, and I don't really have a favorite thing because I like to just always experiment with different stuff. So that's why I don't work in restaurants, because I would find that to be really boring to be making the same thing over and over and over. But let me think. I like baking a lot. I actually really like making cinnamon rolls because I'm cooking for a living. It's hard to find joy sometimes. Not to find joy, but to like do like long project cooking. So sometimes when I have the time, it's nice to like make cinnamon rolls or donuts or something fun that it's just fun to make and create.
Okay.
Someone asked, what was it like to be on Chopped?
Oh, someone asked me what was it like to be on Chopped. It was scary and crazy, and it was like an emotional roller coaster all day long because you don't want to get chopped, but then once you realize you're not chopped, you have to do it all over again in the next round. But it was fun. I'm glad that I had the experience. Also, Shayla, go ahead and turn on your cast iron so it could start heating up.
Okay.
Shayla's skewers look nice. She has nice, evenly pineapple. I have like.
Is yours on?
Yeah, mine's on.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that?
What did you say, Chris?
Why don't you just add some more pineapple to that one with a little bit of shrimp?
Oh, because I just want to do one. So these skewers will cook very quickly, probably only like a minute or two on each side. Because you're using the cast iron, I would suggest to put just a little bit of oil in there before you start cooking them. I'm using, again, the grill pan, so I'm not going to put any oil on there because it should come off and not stick. Hopefully, we'll say a little prayer for that. And these are great, like if you want to have a party you can make them ahead of time and just go ahead and grill them or cook them when everyone gets there. Also, they're not a bad thing to just make, and people can eat like at room temperature. Like they don't have to be like super high, you know? They still taste good.
Okay.
And you overcook them.
Yes, you can overcook shrimp. The flavor will be the same, but the texture will be kind of rubbery if you overcook them.
I've overcooked shrimp.
Yeah, so just a minute or two on each side will probably good, and you'll know that they're done because they'll turn pink, and they'll be a little more firm than they are now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring over my glass of wine because my mouth was watering for it because it's so acidic.
Good.
So how do you do your virtual tastings with your company now?
So we have 5 classes that we do virtually. So Wine 101 is like a really simple, basic vocabulary, going through the 5 S's, and then explaining the different aromas that might be present. And then we do a rosé all day class. So we talk about the different rosés from different regions, the 3 rosé making methods, and we do a rosé cocktail demonstration. So if you get tired of just drinking rosé, like what can you do to mix it up a little bit? We have a South African wine tour class, and so I lived in South Africa for 4 months. So I know Chenin Blanc and Stellenbosch and Pinotage. So being able to talk about South Africa, which I think is a really affordable place to get wine from. And then we have a Black winemakers class, which I think is really important to highlight different Black winemakers, winery owners. And right now that's been like one of our really popular classes, so we're really excited about that.
That's cool. Do you guys do the it's like Black Girl Rosé? I don't know if that's
So Black Girl Magic.
Yeah, it's Black Girl Magic, yeah.
So I think that their brand is like really popular and easy to get at a lot of different stores. So it's nice if you're virtual tasting to be able to say like this is a wine that you can pick up.
So how does it work? So people book you guys to do the class and then they buy their own wine for the class?
Yes. So they sign up on our website. So it's winespencer.com, or they can send us a message on Instagram. So our handle is winespencer_, and they can send us a message and then we'll direct them to the website. But they let us know their preferred time and date and which class they want to do. And then we work with like wine shops in their area to figure out which one has the different wines. And so we have a wine tasting coming up, and people participating are in different cities. So calling wine shops in different cities to see what they offer, so that everyone have the same wine. So you can like right now we both have the same Chenin Blanc. So it's not say like, do you smell, do you taste the same thing I taste?
Yeah, that's cool. All right, I think my grill is probably hot enough, so I'm gonna just start putting my shrimp. But I have another question about what we were just talking about. You want your pan to be sizzling when you put your shrimp on there, and you want to make sure that you're giving them enough room to breathe. So don't pile them all on top of each other, otherwise you won't get any color on there. So I still have two little shrimps left. What was my question?
What is a hybrid grapevine?
What someone is asking what a hybrid grapevine is.
Grapevine.
Grapevine.
A hybrid grapevine?
Mm-hmm. I think a hybrid is just like they put two together, right?
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. My grandfather used to, what is the word, graft trees. So he would like grow one tree with the other tree like attached to it. I don't know. I'm not a gardener. I just pretend to be one in my house with all my jungle of plants.
He did that in California?
Yeah, he lived in San Diego, so his backyard was like amazing. Like there was like guava tree or bushes, kumquat tree, avocado tree, strawberries, blackberries. It was like a little wonderland for me as a kid.
Wow, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And every time we would go to his house, he would take us on a tour of his garden. He's like, well, let's go on this tour of the garden. I'm like, okay. All right, so our shrimp have been on for like a minute. I can see that they're starting to get, I can see the bottom is starting to get white. Since I'm on a grill, I'm going to rotate all of mine to try to get some sort of grill marks on them. But since you're in a pan, you don't really have to do that.
So I think my shrimp isn't touching the grill pan based on like where I put the pineapple.
Oh, they're like, I get what you're saying. What you can do is put a pan, like a heavier pan on top, or just the bottom of like a saucepan. Just like press it down, so then they actually like weight it down to touch the pan.
Got it. Okay.
So, are your classes like public classes, or are they just private classes?
So we do private classes. So if you have a group of friends that want to do a wine tasting together, so it's fun for like birthdays or bachelorette parties or bridal showers.
Mm-hmm.
And then we initially weren't doing the virtual tasting, so we kind of switched to that for COVID. And so eventually we will go back to in-person tastings.
That's cool. Okay, we have some questions.
Can you guys talk about natural wines? Any good ones that you recommend?
Did you hear that? We have a question about natural wines, and if you have any good ones that you recommend. And actually, can you just explain what a natural wine is for anyone that might not know?
So natural wine, I know that one brand, Longford Estate, they have a natural vineyard, so they don't use any pesticides. They have owl boxes that do pest management. But in terms of like our natural wines better because they don't have sulfites or anything like that, I know I don't get headaches from wine, so I don't know if natural wines really help to alleviate something like that. And that you can try is long.
Wait, can you repeat? You're so sorry because I broke up because someone was calling me.
But one of the natural wine brands you could try is Longford Estate.
Longford Estate.
Some pretty good natural wine to try.
Good to know. So, do you?
Someone asked if you recommend buying a grill pan.
Oh, and someone asked me if I recommend buying a grill pan. Yes, absolutely. But with some stipulations. If you want to buy a grill pan that is just flat with no edges, those ones with the edges are just dumb because you create steam, which is like what you don't need for grilling. But these flat ones, I think this is like $50. I got it from like Web Restaurant Store. They used to be on Amazon for like $30, but I don't know, since quarantine happened, like everyone's just been buying up everything on Amazon. But $50, and they're very easy to clean. I will say, because we have the sauce, if I was cooking this on an outside grill, I would sauce these when they're on the pan. But because I don't want to have to clean up that mess later, I'm going to sauce them when I take them off the grill. Also, I think the ones I originally put on are done, so I'm going to go ahead and take them off because I don't want to overcook them. This one is done. This one is done. So you have a choice here. You can sauce them like on the plate, or you could serve the dipping sauce alongside. I'm going to spoon some sauce over them if I had a spoon. Where is my spoon? Okay, oh, I had a spoon right here. All right, so I'm going to sauce these. I'm also trying to avoid using those big pieces of basil that were in there. I just don't want them. So I'm just kind of rubbing the sauce on, very technically, rubbing the sauce so it incorporates all over the whole skewer.
Can I see what you like?
My sauce?
No, your skewers.
Yeah.
I don't think I got grill marks on mine the way I would like. Yeah, maybe
You
that's
probably.
The
Yeah,
grill.
because you're using the cast iron, so you wouldn't get the grill marks. But and also because you said that pineapple were keeping your shrimp up,
Yeah.
so you didn't probably get that that contact to the hot pan at first try. Ow! Do not pick up the hot skewer. All right, let me clean up my plate a bit, and then I'm going to put, because I have it, another beautiful piece of basil on here.
Can I see it?
Mhm.
Can I see?
So I will put it.
gotten thicker since it's been sitting there.
Oh yeah, as your sauce cools down, it's gonna get thicker. If it's too thick to spread on your skewers, you can always just heat it up for like 30 seconds or a minute to make it a little more loose again.
Okay.
All right. I think these two are done. Oh my gosh, the sauce is so good. Sweet. So do you have specific days that you offer your classes?
They're really every day, and my sister and I work to see like who's available at that time.
I see.
So it's nice that we like both can work on it.
And your sister is still in California, right?
My sister lives in Phoenix.
Oh, in Phoenix.
Yeah.
All right, so do you have a couple that are done now?
Yeah, they.
You don't sound very confident over there. I need you to be more confident.
Let me show them to you. You can tell me what you think.
Oh, there we go. Those look good.
They look good? Okay.
Yeah, they look good. Your shrimp cooks very, they got smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, they generally do, but those got really small.
Oh, does that mean I cooked them too long?
Maybe just slightly. So I should ask you at the beginning, what is your cooking level of skill?
So before this happened, I probably would have said a 7. But I think like a general 6.5, 7. Like I cook a lot of the time. And I get like food boxes delivered, so I try like a lot of different things. What do you like, a 6 or a 7?
Okay, cool. All right, Instagram is going to be a hater and kick us off soon, but I want to, before we go, I want you to walk us through tasting and drinking wine. Like, is there a specific way you should go about it? Or like, how do you get the most aroma and like benefits of pairing food together? Is there like a specific way to eat it and drink it?
So you should do wine, food, wine, so you can see how the wine tastes without like any of the food flavors. And a bite of food, and then the wine again, and then see how it changes.
So wine, food. And wine.
Purify your tongue with the wine.
This is why I never eat on real life cooking. I'm always like, here you guys, look at this, it's pretty. Oh, I see why you chose this now. It really does mellow out those
It's not as acidic.
Yes, exactly. Before it was really, really acidic, and now it's like, man, I'm excited about this dinner now. And the wine.
Good.
How do you like the shrimp skewer?
They're good. I really like the sauce.
Awesome.
Good. So what else can I put this type of sauce on besides shrimp?
Chicken. You can make fried rice and put this on like fried rice. It would be good on fried rice.
Yeah.
Or like those rice noodles, like those like the noodles they make pad thai with. You can put that on this. That would be really good. I would say those are the main things I would. Chicken or pork actually would be good because pork pairs really well with sweeter sauces as well.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
All right, before we go, thank you so much for joining me on Real Life Cooking.
Thanks.
I learned so much. I'm so excited. And can you just let everyone know like where they can follow you or where they can find you and take one of your classes?
Yes. So follow my sister and I on @winespencer_. So that's wine, and then Spencer is SPENCER. I know some people spell it differently. Underscore, and you can DM us about like if you have questions about food and wine pairings that I didn't answer here. Like feel free to send us a message, and then we post about like general wine tips, wine recommendations.
Yeah,
and
your
then,
blog is really awesome.
yeah, and so we try to post like a few times a month on different wine related topics. And yeah, our website is winespencer.com. And if you want to book a class, it's a Drink With Us page, and you can pick whichever wine class you want to do.
Awesome. I think I might want to take a class. And we might be doing something in the future together too with some Chefleen food and some wine tastings with Wine Spencer. But yeah, thank you so much, Shayla, for joining Real Life Cooking. I learned a lot. I'm jealous of your kitchen, and and yeah, just thank you so much. Please support her and her sister. It's not a lot of people that look like them in the industry, so we want to support where we can. And yeah, thanks so much. See you later. Thank you. Bye.